Well, damning new explosive allegations to report against President Biden. A newly released FBI informant file alleges Joe and Hunter Biden coerced a Burisma CEO into paying them $5 million apiece to get a Ukrainian prosecutor investigating the company fired. The file also stating that Burisma hired Hunter to protect them through his dad and that the executive was pushed into paying the Bidens cash. Prior to the 2020 election, Biden claimed that he was never investigated for the work with Burisma. Watch this flashback.
Investigation going on in Burisma. And that prosecutor we fired should have been fired, period.
Yeah, take note, MSNBC has not covered this scandal at all, but there he is on that program years ago. Joining me right now is Ohio Congressman Brad Wenstrup. He is a member of the House Intelligence and House Ways and Means Committees. He's also a doctor and a retired combat surgeon. Congressman, thanks so much for spending the time. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you.
What do you want to say about this developing story? This is pretty stunning. What can you tell us?
Well, I think it unfortunately fits what we have known for years, that there are two tiers of justice in the United States of America today, because you can go back several years when Joe Biden openly and in front of cameras bragged about what he actually did. He withheld billions of dollars of taxpayer dollars in aid to Ukraine in order to get the prosecutor fired. He said it. You could probably run the clip in a minute. But these are the facts, and the investigation that was taking place by the FBI. Fortunately, we do have some authority still in Congress that we can get this type of information and reveal the truth to the American people. But here's what you see happening. You know, you threaten them. We're going to withhold the aid unless you stop investigating my son and his business dealings with Burisma. And Burisma is more than happy then to seemingly want to pay the Bidens millions of dollars so that this all goes away. Well, it's not going away. You know, there is such a thing as truth and justice, and there's some of us that are still willing to fight for it, and some of us, including you, that are willing to talk about what is truth and what justice should look like.
Well, thank you, Congressman. And we have that soundbite. Let's roll it.
I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, what, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a got fired.
There you have it. He said it back there in 2018. So you believe that this document proves he basically got paid and made policy decisions and pocketed the cash?
Well, it certainly coordinates neatly with what you just saw Joe Biden bragging about. And that's the other thing, that you could have that much bravado to publicly come out and say that you did this. Where was the Department of Justice right then and there to not look into this and say, what in the world are you doing? You're trading your power for dollars, and you're protecting your own son because of your positions of authority. So he tells the story, and the investigation should have begun right then and there if it hadn't already. But this is the America we're living in right now, unfortunately, Maria, where, you know, the truth doesn't matter. I grew up watching Superman, and it was about truth, justice, and the American way. I'm not sure what the American way is today, because we have too many people involved with our government. Some on the political side, some are elected, but so much within our agencies where they put their political party first ahead of the United States of America and the values that our founders put in place when our country was formed. And I'm fighting it left and right. I'm chairing the Select Committee on the pandemic, and I am finding out that people just don't know the truth, even when you put it out in your hearings.
Unbelievable. And part of that is the media. Let's just call it out. Mainstream media is just complicit in all of this. ABC News completely ignoring this explosive whistleblower hearing. According to Grabian transcripts on Wednesday's World News Tonight and on Good Morning America, both ignoring the hearing altogether. No time whatsoever. In fact, the Media Research Center reporting that over the course of nearly 40 days, ABC, CBS, NBC News spent 527 minutes covering the Trump indictment and 0 seconds on the Biden bribery allegations, Congressman. How hard is it for you to seek truth, report truth, when you don't have a media willing to search for the truth and follow the truth wherever it goes?
I mean, we try wherever we can to get the message out as much as we possibly can, and sometimes you're just put down for doing it, but we're making the effort each and every day. But it is extremely difficult when you have another section of the media, a large swath of the media, doesn't want to pay any attention to this because it doesn't fit their narrative. And it's actually just heartbreaking to see that this is taking place in America. We used to count on the media to let the people know that their government, by the way, it is their government, is doing things that they should never be approving of, and yet they just are willing to ignore it, move on, nothing to see here. And I don't get why the media wants to do that.
I don't understand it either. It's a mystery. Congressman, real quick before you go, because you are chairing the subcommittee on the pandemic, what is the most important things that you want to make sure the American people understand? This week, we see that the Biden administration is finally going to be banning new funding to the Wuhan lab. What else do we need to understand about that pandemic?
What we need to understand is what the government was doing during this pandemic, which was not telling the American people the truth. And we now see that. And we have the scientists who came out, for example, and said the origins of COVID came from nature. Yet in their private conversations, they were saying, no, this really looks like it came from the lab. But let's just put that aside. Why are we putting it aside? For international harmony. Oh, can you imagine? And these are quotes now. Can you imagine the S show that'll occur if someone credible says this came from the lab, and what that would do for China, and what a setback this would be for our science? And one even so much as said that, I don't like when science becomes political, but we have to. And the American people don't know that. They don't know it, and neither do a lot of educated people.
Yeah, we've got to have more on this. Congressman, I hope you'll come back so we can have a full interview just on this topic. There's so much to talk about here. Thanks for your work there. Brad Wenstrup, good to see you, sir.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.